Hey there!
I'm Sunny.
I'm Skylar.
And together,
we're Crushcast, aka the Vixens of Crush Publications.
Join us today for another fun time with Crush.
Hi there, everyone. It's best-selling authors Sunny A. Morgan and Skylar Quinn coming together to discuss the joys of erotica in literature. Today's topic is going to be, we're going to discuss online personas and our boundaries.
And today's sponsor is Sex Symbol Podcast, a hilarious take on women's private conversations. You can find their podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast, or you can look at their website at sexsymbolpodcast.com.
Very exciting to have them sponsor us today.
Yes.
Especially since they're part of our convention.
They are, and they're hilarious. I don't know how often you listen, but when I do, it's always good for a good laugh. They are quite the duo.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, Sunny, what kind of books do you have out right now?
Last week I had released Not My Patient. It's part of my Not My series. And this week, Not My Boss will be releasing. So they are different forms of hot wife, cuckold, free use. So
lots of fun for everyone.
Yep. How
many in the series total?
6 will be in the series. After this one, Not My Trainer will be the last one.
That sounds great.
Yep. How about you? What do you have?
So last Friday, I had It Takes Two. This is book 4 in my Filthy Friday series. It's about 8,000 words, so it's a good short story. Almost, I guess that'd be a novella. Not sure. And then this Friday, I have my Summertime Adventure, My Boss, and that one is a 6,000 word short story. Both of them are fun and easy and just down to the nitty gritty, just straight filth erotica fun.
Great.
So
that's so awesome.
The best kind, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what we do.
How have you done this year on making sure you have a release every Friday?
I have had a release every Friday. So
Same, me too.
Yes. So I have kept up on it. It's not always easy. Sometimes I've been getting a little confused with what's coming out. And like this week I wrote the completely wrong story. But that's fine.
You'll get ahead in some other ways.
Yeah, it'll all work out. And so I had to work on my schedule again just to kind of get it all some ahead of the game. Because I'll be in Houston in a month, a little over a month. So yeah.
I guess it'll be 33 days when this airs, or 32 days, something like that. So very exciting,
something like that.
I mean, exciting but not exciting. Like, it sucks that you have to come take care of me, but yay, we get to spend a week together.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and I definitely maintained my release schedule. Like, thank goodness that I had so many ahead of time, because 2025 seems to be the year for us to be like, no, you cannot follow your plans.
No, I mean, we have both had one thing after another keep happening, where we're sick or
happening in the
injured.
Same week.
Yeah,
in the same week.
Yeah, there's always something. And so, I mean, as most of you have noticed, we have not done a podcast, and 2 we've missed because
3 weeks?
I mean, because we've missed 2.
So I think it's been 3 weeks since one has aired fresh. Maybe 4 weeks by the time this one airs. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's
life happens.
It does, and we are really not the type who like to not follow the schedule. We figure it out. I mean, because there's been other times where we've done them at not our scheduled times, but
when we were sick, that's what was the hardest part, because we both couldn't record. Like, we sounded bad, we looked bad. It was no bueno.
So it was not good at all, and so it just was like one thing after another. But we are back.
Yes. And we're doing this one out of sync, and then next week we'll be back in sync, and we're going to work on getting ahead.
So we have a plan. We're going to be ahead of the game so we don't have this happen again, but we're only human. I know it's amazing. I know that, we don't like to believe that we're only human, the way we schedule ourselves, but but we are only human. Yeah, but we are only human. So anyway, we're back on schedule.
And talking out loud, thinking about it, we're going to have to get ahead for when you're here, because I definitely do not want to be on air with the neck brace on after my surgery.
No, oh my gosh, we do. We definitely have
to figure out a way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have to definitely be ahead of the game, and
in writing and in recording.
Yeah, and I was working on my schedule today just to kind of like make sure that while I'm there, I don't have to write unless like I have time. I can, but I don't know what you're gonna need and what you're not really gonna need.
I don't know what I'm gonna need or not.
I know exactly, and so that's why I want to be ahead of the game, just to be sure, to be safe.
And then we got our vacation, and like the way my schedule is right now, I have me writing 2 days of that vacation for just like one chapter. I'm like, surely I can squeeze 3,000 words in at some point in 5 days.
Yeah.
Surely we can.
Yeah.
But that way it's also a tax write.
There you go.
Maybe we can figure out a way to record too. Like maybe the weather will be nice so we can record outside or something. I don't know.
I'm sure. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully it should be nice.
Should be.
Because it's going to be May. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So we'll see you in a month. And then after you leave, it'll be like a month and a half. And we'll be another week together.
Yep. Yeah.
So much time in 2025.
There we go.
So it's like great, but also like, sucks it happens, but great nonetheless.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to you introducing Blake to Smurfs. I was telling someone that today too. That I was like, I can't wait for her to do this.
That's so
Sunny.
And Blake, I'm excited about it too. Yeah, to have a little bonding time with Blake will be nice.
It'll be good all around. It'll be good because hopefully the surgery will be a piece of cake, and I won't need anything. I will just get a bunch of girl time.
Yeah, and that would be amazing. But
best case scenario, I found every possible wood in my house.
Or you'll just be doped up on painkillers, and that'll be hilarious for me.
I don't know. I don't do that so well. I mean, you've been warned about how I am leaving anesthesia. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
We may have to do those funny recordings now.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Depends. If the neck brace is on, I don't know. I'm not sure that's going to help with my looks. So we'll see.
You'll just be so out of it you won't care.
It'll be like that first time I had an edible and tried to rewrite an Eminem song. It'd be ridiculously horrible.
Yeah, but you did write it.
I did, and it was horrible.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, I mean, I was told it was horrible, so I didn't post it. But I still think I should have saved it.
I think you should have saved it. It wasn't that bad. But that's funny.
Yeah. So, anyways, into our topic we go.
Yes.
Online personas and boundaries.
Yes. So what is a hard boundary for you?
It kind of depends on who the person is that I'm talking to. Generally, like for guys, it'd be like phone numbers. Like I don't generally give out the phone number unless it's someone that I know in person or have like really trusted after a long period of time. Generally, for women, I don't know, I'm a little looser on that, I guess. It just depends, like, more my personal life, maybe. Just, like, how deep I get into, like, what my real life is like or what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, phone numbers is definitely one that I don't give out unless I'm doing, like, some sort of work with that person, and we've kind of established that trust for the most part. Like, that's, so I don't do that, but, so that's kind of a big one. Real names is one for, even though I say it all the time. I know I slip up and say it all the time. But I don't say my last name.
Well, thankfully.
Yeah, so I don't say that at least. But when I'm first meeting somebody and lots of times I'll get messages and they'll ask, what is your real name? And I'm like, Sunny. It's like, I don't know you. Why am I telling you anything? So they just assume that it's a pen name. I'm like, Sunny's my real name. So until I get to know you.
Can't you tell you're very sunny? Everything about you.
Yeah, okay. As I'm in all black right now. But yeah, so I don't know. I think like those and then personal, like family is probably like a big one, or people in my like real life. I'm not gonna post pictures of them. I'm not gonna do that. Besides like you, but that's because you're here with me. So like it's a little different. But uh but yeah, that's probably the biggest one, is posting like people out of my real life, besides my dog.
I kind of think, since this was like our second time around, right? I kind of think I wish I would have gone into it as Skylar being single. That way, people kind of knew less in a sense, because being married is it has that potential exposure or whatever. So I do kind of wish that I had created Skylar single, even though my husband's like, you can fake a divorce, I don't care. Like, you can be single, go for it, whatever.
But he's already out there, so that kind of defeats the purpose of like,
right, yeah. He's like, you kill me off, whatever. I'm like, well, I don't know that I really want to do that.
Okay.
But sometimes I do wish that like I would have done that. But at the time, I was like, well, if I'm married, it'll be less drama with people trying to like hit on me in chats, and that's not a true thing, really. But
it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Yeah, yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know what to do, because the type of things, when you're starting to try to build that like readership, you have to let some of yourself out there where people, because people buy from people they like.
Right, and exactly.
So you still have to like give them part of you. So Sunny, I mean, it's not like Sunny is not this real person. It's just all of my details are not going to be online. I'm not going to put all of that out there. Just because, and I mean, in reality, like my real life social medias, I'm not putting all of myself out there.
Right.
Because not everybody needs to know everything.
Exactly.
You have to have some like privacy. But with Sunny, it's, even though I was guarded to a point, you still get people who become a little too,
you do, especially you,
a little too aggressive with their likes, because they start to think that you're developing this relationship with them that is more than a friendship. And that's, I mean, it's where those boundaries are. So when that happens, I do create like a boundary where, no, if they don't take the hint, they get blocked and I'm done. But if they take the hint, then I leave it alone. Because if I just tell them, like, we're friends, that's all we are. Then if they get that, then we're good. But sometimes
for me, the boundary, like, there's only so many times like I could repeat a story or I want to talk about something. So I also kind of like limit like what I talk about with who I talk about. So there's like you and then like Laura that I'll talk about everything with, right? And there's kind of like degrees of like where they're at. And so where they're at in my little circle is like what part of me I really share with them. And then there's like the outside that everybody gets of just like this me. It's Skylar. It's real, but it's not the depths of that where I really am.
Right. Because, I mean, you don't want all in that, because you have issues and you have problems, and people that are your readers don't necessarily want to hear all of your drama.
Right?
They just don't want to hear. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying that some people don't care. I'm not saying that at all, because they do. We have great readers who became friends and they do care, and they look out for you and support us. And so sometimes those are more personal conversations I would have in private. I wouldn't just be posting out on a timeline when there's
and that was one of the different things between Skylar and 10 years ago with me is, I've said it before on the blog, like I was very me. I was very raw, very real on my blog. And now I don't do that very much at all. And sometimes I do need that purge. Sometimes I do need that writing. My therapist tells me to, so I do it. But I leave that on Medium because I feel like Medium is more safe than like putting it on Substack, because Substack people pay me to read my fiction. They're not paying me to read like my feelings or what I'm going through or how hard it is to be a special needs mom or a special needs wife or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
Where Medium, I'm not being paid. I mean, I am being paid when you read it, but I'm not being paid for like my service. And so sometimes I'll do it there, and then and it does help me. And I do get some weird responses sometimes, but I do get like, it is nice knowing that sometimes what you say and what you're going through help other people. But it's a safe spot. Whereas I definitely wouldn't do it on my Substack because nobody wants to pay to hear people whining in reality.
Right. Yeah.
And then you also don't want to put so much out there to where people can stalk you and find you.
Yeah. Right. You don't want them to know all of the details of your personal life because they can get a little too involved and find things. And so, it's that fine line of what you share, and it's kind of scary. And honestly, I feel like you should be, even outside of being an erotic writer doing this, I feel like you need to be cautious about what you're sharing online in general.
You really do.
Because you just don't know. And I think sometimes because we live in this world of social media and it's a norm to share every little feeling or hurt or good thing or where you're at, like pictures of where you're at and things like that, that it can cause issues. So it's hard to find that balance because you want to share certain things with people. You do. And so it's hard to, I don't know where your boundaries are.
Well, it's kind of like in your real life when you go on vacation. You don't post that you're in Paris every day. You post your Paris pictures when you get home so people don't know your house is empty. Right? Exactly. It's kind of like the same type of mentality. Like, yes, I say I'm from Houston, but Houston's really big. Houston's really encompassing. It could really be like Hitchcock. You don't say exactly where you're at, and that's okay. It's a general vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in West Virginia, but I'm not saying the place because it's not big. It's very small and so you don't want to do that. And because I have had that issues where people have said, have really made me feel uncomfortable with what they find out about me or what they're going to do. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So.
In some ways, social media makes it kind of hard. Like, for example, TikTok gave me a suggestion of people I should add in a group, and there was 2 people or 1 person in it that I've never talked to on TikTok, but that person's very close to you. And so it automatically grouped me, my husband, you, and then someone you're close to as people I should talk to all at one time. Like, that in some way really outs people. And that's really dangerous, I think.
It does. And automatically pushing out you can't have like a secret account. You're like looking at anything that your contacts are automatically there or people who are in the same region. It's bad on TikTok, but I think Facebook is worse. Like I don't know how many times I've said I have it blocked not to connect my contacts. That's why I go and I block myself and my and all family members on Skylar. That way it doesn't do that. And even still, it happens. It does. Because I've blocked so many people on Sunny's Facebook account and it still pops up. And then on my real life account, these people are starting to show up and I'm like, all right, so I'm going to have to block every single erotic author that I follow or that I read or that reads me and it's like insane.
It is to the point where it's very scary because it makes people so easily trackable.
It does. And we want to hope that everybody has the best intentions. And
but
Right. But I mean, we are lucky for the majority. Well, at least I know that I am lucky for the majority of people that I have met has all been good encounters, um, with just the exception of a couple. So, but those couples were enough to make me like think about and kind of change how I interact on
Which is sad
social media. It
because
does.
we should be able to be ourselves of who we want without other people scaring us, and that freedom
Yeah.
is kind of tainted, which is
Yeah.
awful.
It is. It is. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah. So I don't know. It's it's hard. It's hard to
Well,
decide.
and then you even get like you dive even further into this onion of layers we peel away, and let's say you want to do collaborations with other people. Well, then you have to give a little bit more of yourself because one of you has to pay the other person for the writing.
Right.
And then what if you make so much money? Now you got to issue a 1099 because
Yeah.
you paid them over $600. And so the layers keep peeling away. And so you have to be really careful about who you partner with. And again,
Yeah.
it's one thing with you and me because we've shared so much in real life and it's totally different, 15
Yeah.
years. But diving into that with Sean and Logan was hard. I mean,
Yeah.
more so with Sean because I agreed to do it with Sean before he and I were super close. But since I let him upload everything, I'm like, well, I'll give you my Zelle information. This is a phone number. And he gave me like his real name. We exchanged that, So there was a little bit of layer of like leap of faith, right? But it was
Yeah.
such small projects that I felt like if it had to be gone, then I could stomach it and be okay. I wasn't building a brand with him.
Yeah.
But Logan has been more complicated because we're planning 13 books, right? And so we're already seeing the growth. And I mean, I'm going to have to issue him a 1099 at the rate we're going, which is good, right? That's a good problem
Right.
to have.
It is a good problem.
But that's him trusting me with his information then at that point. And so
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is hard. You have to be very cautious about who you partner with. And I mean, but to grow, you have to have that trust.
Yeah.
So that's like the whole catch-22. You can only keep yourself so like private, even with our pseudonames. They can
Yep.
only be so private.
Because even if we were with publishers, you would still have to give them all this information. And we've had experiences where publishers have gone under and there have been problems with publishers. So even if it's a business, you still run that risk. It's still
Right.
hard. It's very
Yeah.
difficult.
It is.
But I would rather be doing it as Skylar than as my maiden name.
Yeah.
Because then there's still that separation. Because you Google Skylar Quinn, you're not going to pop up with my address.
Right.
You might find
Yeah.
my P.O. box, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole purpose in that.
Whole
So,
purpose.
yeah. So, but it's just, I don't know. You just don't know.
You don't. And then when you see, like, I see other people who just lay it all out there. And
Yeah.
I wonder, like, how much does that affect their success?
Yeah.
Because I know people want to know that we're real and have, like, real experiences and real emotions. But then it goes back to, I think it probably hurts themselves in the long run. Versus, like, maybe in the short run, it helps them. But in the long run, it kind of drowns it out. I don't know.
I think it depends on what you're sharing. Because I don't feel like people want
I
to.
mean, people share everything, like the good, the
Yeah.
bad, just like spew
Right.
it all.
Yeah, I just don't think everybody wants to hear all of your like problems all the time. And maybe that's just me, but I don't think that that's something people want to do. I'm not saying that I haven't shared because I have. I mean, I
Right.
shared about my mom, I've shared about miscarriages. I mean, I've shared about different things. But I try not to do that.
It's not because I'm
Regular.
regular.
Right. That's not like I try not to, and I try not to like share my religious or my political or like any of those kind of beliefs because I don't want a negative.
Because
I
there's
don't
negatives
want-
no matter what your opinion is, and you're going
Right,
to piss
exactly.
somebody off. And
Right. I mean,
what's the
so
point?
yeah, so I mean, I don't want to alienate anybody. And
Exactly.
so I feel like, well, I mean, yeah, I want to alienate people who are horrible people, but I mean, in
You're
general,
less likely to do that.
right. But I mean, in general, I don't want to like alienate and like this side or that side or this religion or this religion. I don't want to do that because I think that's the problem. There's too much of us dividing. And
Right.
so I don't want to be a cause of that or a source of that. So I try to stay away from any of that stuff on
I agree.
any of my stuff because I just want, and it's an escape for me. I want Sunny to be a happy place when I log into her accounts. I want it to be a good experience for me too, not just like my readers or other followers, or I want it to be a good experience for me too. Because if it's not fun, I mean, why do I want to keep doing it?
Exactly.
So,
And I have really found that using the Fidika has made it so much easier to avoid the negative because I don't have to log in at all. I just pull up the app, I type what I want, and I close it, and Twitter never was open. It was wonderful.
yeah.
I have really found I like that.
Yes. And that's great. And I mean, and those are tools that are, keep it to where we can keep active without having to like constantly be on there doom scrolling. It's not to say we don't post live stuff. We still post live things.
Oh, I will post my live thing through Fidika.
Oh, really?
I don't have to log in and see, especially after the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. I did not want to log into Twitter because my Twitter is full of football. I did not want to log in, so I stayed off it for a few days using Fidika, and that was great.
So
I missed all of the negatives about the Chiefs losing the football game because of that.
I mean, I don't, because I do want to log in, and there are people like on all of my social medias that I want to like see their post, and
I was good going a week without.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can definitely go a week without seeing any of the stuff because sometimes we all need that break, anyways.
Yeah,
and if we can schedule that stuff ahead of time and then just take a break, yeah, do that because everybody needs a break from social media at some point because it can be stressful.
I'm really bad about Threads and Instagram.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can do Facebook. Facebook, I'm fine with, and the Twitter, I'm fine with, because those are ones where like I have a lot of fan interaction. A lot of people like message and stuff like that. The other ones, I get like retweets or reposts, but I don't really get the interaction. So it's very hard for me to remember to click the little notification button. I don't know why. I should do like once a day, every day for the same time, and just be done. But
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's something about the picture threads that just annoy me because I feel like it's so much more. I don't know why. I've never been good about it. Never.
Yeah, like, I'm not good at Threads either. I try to log. Like today, I logged in and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never logging in again. It was just so like horrible because
another one I'm bad at. Blue Sky.
Yeah, because we forget about it because it's not where we weren't doing it all the time. It's just like before, back in the day, I forgot about Twitter. I never like would post on Twitter like 10 years ago. Because I forget about it. But then
you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, but now I do, but I also need to start focusing on like Blue Sky too. So just remembering where you get at breaking habits.
Right. Well, I logged into my Instagram, like my real Instagram. I text my dad. I'm like, did my brother delete his Instagram? He's like, where have you been? He did that a year ago. It's like, I didn't even know. It's like, it's been a year. Didn't even know because it's probably the last time I logged on was a year ago. Like I've just always been so bad about them. Even though it's all in the app, you just click the little button, you switch accounts. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard for me.
Yeah, I haven't been in my real Instagram in over a year because it was like it got hacked and deleted, and so like it was just became such a pain in the ass to get it back that I was like, I don't even care. So I just let it go. So
well, and then I think like there's Rachel Bourne. She's on my real Facebook account, and then she's on Skylar. And because she's been my real one for a while. She just joined Skylar when she wanted to start writing and doing this stuff, right? So she'll add you there. And then I realized I'm liking from both. I was like, oh, people are going to connect it. I was like, I gotta stop. I have to completely stop on one of these. So it's like, I stopped, I had to hide her on my real account. That way, because it's the same. I mean, it's not the same picture, but I'm in the picture on my profile, right? Like,
right.
It's like, damn it, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's hard to keep.
It is hard.
All of the personalities separate and
to remember, right? And I don't know. And then
the people who have a million, like, who have all of these different pen names, which I think is great that they do.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. Like, if I could probably have two. One would probably suffer. Like, it would go back and forth on which one was suffering though.
I don't know that I would want to, because it's hard enough having me and me.
Yeah.
Now, if I had another pen name that I advertised as Skylar, that would be different. If I did everything as Skylar, but I just published under, like, I don't know, Shannon Quinn or whatever, I could do that. Kind of like what like Lacey does. She has all these different names and they all have Cross as the last name, right? Like, that is something I probably could do if I advertised everything as Skylar.
Yeah.
But
then here's like what if you get all of these fans under Shannon Quinn?
A horrible name. I'm not going to go with Shannon Quinn.
Well, you said it. You said it. So if you get all of these fans under there and they're wanting interactions with you, but you're under
Skylar. I don't know. The back matter could all be my Skylar stuff. I don't know. It was very hard when I did the old name and I threw Nikki in. At the same, I couldn't do both.
Yeah.
But I could advertise her stuff under my real name. I don't know. It was hard. I just don't think I could do it. And I'm just trying to think of another S name.
Maybe you would just have to maybe you would just have to change that as your as all of your names on things as the SQ, and it just all be one. It's just all there. But,
see, that's too much. I don't want to. I just would rather write all my different series and let them all, go out to whoever they want and be done.
Yeah, I mean, I do that too, and I have different niches, and I wonder sometimes if that affects my readers.
I wonder that too.
Yeah, I mean, I know people tell you it does, and that you need to have the different pen names for the different niches, and I'm not saying, and they are most likely right, because the people who say it are doing better than I am, so I'm sure they're right. But it's just so hard to think that I have to. So then
that would go into this. Let me ask you this. So let's say we had different names for our generic erotica, our hot wife or cuckold, our BDSM. Would we, or then our paranormal cozy, whatever? Would we have to release 4 books every fucking Friday to meet the algorithm for all 4? I couldn't do that. There is no possible way I could do that. It'd be 1 book a month for each pen name. And I feel like that would hurt us in algorithms, because then you'd have to decide which one is KU, which one is wide. Because at least going every Friday, you could have 1 or 2 KU books and then 1 or 2 wide books, and you could hit all the different algorithms from the Barnes and Nobles, the Apples, the Jocks and Digitals, the Amazons. I don't even think if you did it full time, you could do enough each week for each pen name to hit the algorithms that you're supposed to hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably figure out a way to do 2 a month. Or,
for each name?
Yeah. But I couldn't do weekly, for a week.
There's no way. No way.
There's no way.
In the best case scenario, to have the time to edit, to format, to cover, to come up with a topic, to plot it out, to plan there's just no way you could do that.
No, you couldn't. I mean,
unless they were all 3,000 word stories. And in which case that would get very old.
Right. Well, I mean, you could always where you have one that does longer stories, so that could be a monthly, and then you have like you could just like variation the word count on what they are. I don't
just
know.
think that
It's
would
a
be
lot.
so
I mean,
difficult.
I would never do four. I could never do four regardless. But
I was just thinking the different things
like
that we
four.
currently are writing. You know?
Yeah, I'm just saying like I could never do four pen names, but
You
if I
cannot be
ever
Hank.
wanted to, no,
I
I
don't know how
mean,
he does it.
I don't either, but he does it. I don't know how. Now, I could probably do, if I wanted to separate, it would be two, and I would probably take paranormal somewhere else. That would probably be the only, like, my
Or one a
paranormal
month.
yeah, like, my paranormal erotica would be the only one that I would probably, like, separate out, but I couldn't do the other. I couldn't do, like, for my age gap and my
That's
hot
just too
wife
much.
and the cheating, and because no, I couldn't do
See,
it.
that's why I like that when I have my series, I think my series titles are very clear on what you're getting. If it's a hot wife, it's there. If it's cheating age gap, it's there. And then that way, if it's not your cup of tea, you can just move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's good to have series when you're doing that many different ones because it does give you that place. What did I do? You disappeared for a second.
No,
You
I'm
there?
still here.
Well, no, you're there, but you went off of my screen. There you are. You're back.
Oh, you're getting rid of me already. It's
Yeah.
not time yet, is it? How long have
No.
we been recording?
We've been recording a little while actually.
Oh, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah. I just couldn't do. I don't think I could do that many. It would just be too many pen names.
There's just no way I could. And then you'd have to think about the marketing that would go with it, and like
Yeah.
the branding, like. And then at one point, would it be like Skylar Quinn writing as it's a horrible name though. We'll come with a new name, S Quinn or whatever, like the way Nora Roberts does with JD Robb. Like, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of the secrecy? I don't know. There's just
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's about the secrecy as much, especially when it's like I mean, it's erotica. It's
well,
erotica.
yeah, it's erotica. It's erotica.
I think that it's more of it's the so readers aren't confused or disappointed when they buy like a Skylar Quinn book that they're expecting it to be a hot wife, but it ends up being a daddy book. Or, I'm not you don't write that, but I'm just
Right,
saying
I
like
don't,
it ends up
but
being yeah.
yeah.
If that's what it ended up being, they're like, what the hell is this?
But again, that's why I try to really title and I try to make sure that the blurb is enough to get that because I do think you owe that to your readers to be clear at least of what they're getting.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think like that's where like your series names come in handy, and you could do subtitles that kind of make it, when they're looking at the book, you can see what it is, and then the title on the cover. I like to try to have all of mine, if it's like not my series, like they all look the same,
Right.
So it's like, I mean, they're different photos because it's different couples, but they all look the same. Like you can,
and that's
see
where you're
that,
a little more better than me because I just use the same damn cover and change the title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but people could do that. Like my fear with that is that people would think it's the same book and wouldn't buy it.
I see your
If
point
somebody,
on that.
but I mean, it works for you, then you know.
And it's funny, like that the hot wife one. So my cheating one, the first 8 had one cover, then the second 8 are having a different color. But my hot wife one, all 12 have the same cover. And so I definitely sell more of those on Apple than I do Amazon. So I do wonder if the cover affects the Amazon books, but not necessarily the Apple books.
It could. I don't know.
So I don't know. It's interesting on like what sells in which places.
Yeah. I mean, it may be worth like looking at like your next series to not do that and try to see.
Maybe. If I do my idea that I came up with today, I might try that. Come up with new covers for whatever it was, my app first site idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great idea.
I mean, Marty and I were talking about it, and I just like was sleeping on it. I was like, I can make a whole world where people put in applications, and I have fake doctors that go through them and pair people up for their erotic dreams. I mean, why not? I'm so hooked on that stupid show. I mean, maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
So, and I sent him the message. He was fine. You could do like hand job at first sight. I was like, you could take it really, erotic. I'm like, I guess I could. I wasn't really thinking that, but yeah. But I mean, I'm bored with a lot of the other things, so maybe that might be more fun. But that's the other problem we get into. The frequency is just sometimes too much.
It is, and that's why, like, me personally, try to stop at the max of 6 in a series so I can move on to something else.
Yes.
Just because, I'm bad at series anyways. So, like, that is my max. Just for me to kind of keep it where it's different.
My cheating husbands will make it to 16. And I'm gonna finish the Hot Wife one at some point, so it'll end at 12, and then I'll move on to some other type of thing. But those cheating husbands, though, I mean, they are great. People love them, so I mean, why stop? I mean, and those are easy. I don't know why those are easy for me. And I don't know how
they all are still kind of. I mean, I still do. It can still be the same. Well, not the same, but you can all you can still have like cheating husbands or your hot wife or whatever. It's just I just choose different themes for it, doing the spring fling I'm gonna do in the spring, just to kind of have a different theme, or But
I think next year maybe if I can plan ahead, I might do like a March Madness of some kind for March. I gotta stay ahead and be consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know how we get back on this. This is not my personality or anything. We just digress. Oh, I guess the pen name. That's how we got into this.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, it's just a conversation. Fine. This is our normal phone conversations. They go into many topics.
I'm a little nervous. I sent Ellie the Leprechaun Caught My Tongue. I know paranormal is not her thing, so I know she's not going to love it because she doesn't love any paranormal. But I'm anxious to hear what she thinks because I really liked it. I had so much fun writing it. And it ended up almost 9,000 words, and I was only planning on 5 or 6. It just kind of exploded, and I'm really happy. So
my Wolf Takes a Mate.
I like it too.
It's when it's funny and a little longer than I anticipated, and which is good, but it's different than the first 2.
And I don't remember if it's chapter 5. I think it's chapter 5. I have the demon, he's the guy, tricking the leprechaun into something during sex. And our buddy Mike, he commented, he's like, usually it's the men slipping up during sex. I like this. And it was her. So, well, I mean, because she's a younger leprechaun, she's a virgin and all these things. So he's a demon. He took advantage. I wanted to be true to the demon nature in some way, right?
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I enjoyed it, and I thought it was funny that he picked that part out of it, because when I was writing it, I was like, this just seems not typical. So
right. That's good, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the having fun. And I know our Hemlocks are not going to be bestsellers. I know Hemlock Valley is not for everyone, but I love what we're doing.
I love Hemlock
and it
Valley.
Is for me. It is for us. And I just love it. And I love how each story is so different. And I love just how we can, we gotta make sure we read each other's and we chart out all the things we've added. Right?
Yeah.
Our bookstore now has a new employee.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I've tried not to add any. Well, Cherries has a new employee. She got a new employee last time. But
we should go update we should update the drive.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was just she's kind of such a minor. Well, she's not a minor character, but because the Cherries wasn't the focus, the cafe, it's fine. So.
Well, I mean, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I don't think it's a big deal that they're kind of these employees. It's just as long as we
keep
don't
it updated.
Use the other person's employees. Or if we make them the mayor, we need to kind of know that, like.
So I did use the mayor this time, and I had a little fun. And like the town had a St. Patrick's Day parade, and he was forcing the demon to come participate. And like, I was just thinking, like, how when we were planning this series, how we talked about the mayor being so involved and like promoting the paranormal aspect. So I do love that those cross people, and I used Willa in this one again to help give him a grimoire to summon the leprechaun and all these other things. So I just love how it's interwoven. And
I used the sheriff and the sheriff and the deputy in my last one. They needed to be used. So
yeah, exactly. And I'm using the little street titles and then the like where they're at, like whether they were at Jacob the demon's house or if they were at his sandwich shop or just wherever. If they were in the street, I just did like the Dahlia Street or whatever. That way we can kind of like pull people in that we're using these different parts of towns or in his home, which was at Shifter Lane and all these different things. And I think it's so much fun. Yeah. And I don't know. It's that 20% for us.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
it's still doing the erotica. So I mean, it's still like what we're getting, but it's like
exactly
there's more to it. Yeah,
but there's way more plot. Like I feel like it's still erotic in the sense that it's dirty when it's dirty, but there's just a lot more plot surrounding the dirty, and it takes it takes a longer to get to that dirty, but I don't know. And I like seeing that them on the KU reads and that people are experiencing our world and. I don't know, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I love those little images you made last month with the little, like, cute little, like, the square and the dip on them. Those are so cute, so.
Yeah, to make more for women.
The leprechaun cover, though, like, super, super perfect. Like, you nailed that cover.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, too. And I was thinking when we do group them, because there's going to be 24, I just think we should maybe do it, like, 888. So it's like 3 like.
So are we going to group them with us sharing books? So we would share the print book, or are we going to group them as our own because that would not be even?
I was thinking we would do it as our own. I mean, not as our own, but together.
Together? Okay. So like the first 8th, the second 8th, the third, the draft to digital. Be easy. But yeah, that would work. 8.
Because I think it would make it a good size.
It would. That'd make it
and then
I
think 3 in a series looks good. Because it would make it like a 3. Yeah.
So the question is, so like Logan wants to put our 13th book in print and in KU. Would we re-put them in KU as a bundle, or would we just print them?
I mean, put them in KU.
Unless I didn't even think about doing that till he mentioned it last week.
Unless we want at the end of the year to just go wide with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And see if it does well on the other. I mean, because we can always take it out of the other if it doesn't do well and put it back in KU.
If we went wide, would we go wide in chunks, you think, or individual?
No, I think we should probably just do chunks. I don't know. We'll have to think about it, yeah.
We do have to think about it. If we do it in chunks, so this is what Logan was explaining to me. So we could leave Unbound, well, not leave. We could take Unbound and make it wide because you can put 10% of your book, and Unbound would be less than 10% of the whole collective. So if we did them in chunks, we could leave the chunks in KU and put like our first ones wide, try to draw them to the chunk on Amazon.
Well, yeah, and that's what I did with my more my husband's best friend. The first one is wide, but the other is because I just have it like the whole like series is in KU besides the first one.
So complicated figuring out
the bundle. The bundle is in KU.
So are you keeping just the bundle, or do you have the 6 books too?
They're all there in KU. Well, no, they're not in KU anymore. All of them have been done, but the bundle is in KU.
So
still.
you took 2 through 6 out and left the bundle. So are 2 through 6 not published now?
No, they're published.
But if the bundle's in KU,
but they're not.
those?
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, they're not wide.
Oh, so they're just on Amazon.
Yeah. Besides the first one. The first
gotcha.
one is wide, but the rest of them are just on.
I gotcha.
On Kindle. Yeah. Because the first one was just
so
10%. Yeah, it's just 10%. And then I used it on Substack and Medium after.
That's what I have to remember to do. I have to remember to go delete my Substack posts for all of my Kindle Unlimited stuff. I leave the first one and delete the rest.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
I do it like the day before it comes out. That way,
Yeah.
See, authoring is hard. The writing is the easy part. It's everything else that's hard.
Yeah, to like figure out to have all of it organized, especially the more books you get, to decide where they're going to go. And because I'm trying to, like, certain things I'll do the 90 days in KU when it first releases, and then I'm like taking out to kind of see, like, if it makes more sense to leave it in or leave it out. So I don't know. We'll see. This is just right now is a experimenting phase when it comes to these for me. So we'll see.
And we'll figure it out, and then in a year it'll change.
Oh, I know. And that's fine. Because we can pivot and we can, flow and move on to the next thing, because all of our eggs are not in one basket.
Exactly. To be versatile.
Yeah. So
this was a good episode, I think. I mean, we did a little business planning.
We did.
Live business planning.
We just talked. So.
But I also think that's why people like us, because they see like us together. That we're very real, and it's a real friendship. It's a real family, and it works.
Yep, it does. And I mean, and I think that's part of our, what we let people see. That's not a boundary, because this is, we can keep a lot of stuff behind our pen name, but we also want you to know us, while keeping us safe too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So here we are. But anyway, so it was a good episode.
It was a good one. All right. Well, I don't even know how long we were talking for. Those are usually our best episodes, but we just flow.
Yeah. So. At least we think they are. So
maybe you'll have to leave us a comment and let us know.
Yeah. If we need to shut up or stick to script.
Right. I don't think we've stuck to the script very well overall.
I don't think we've ever stuck to the script.
I think the first one we did really, really hard, but that was it.
Yes. And that was the one we got the most feedback that we needed to calm down the script.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next time then.
Yes. All right. We're not going to do
I was leaving it for you.
Oh, okay. Just like I thought you were saying goodbye. I'm like, what? Today's episode was sponsored by Sex Symbol Podcast, and you can find them wherever you listen to your podcast, or you can find them on their website at sexsymbolpodcast.com.
And don't forget to subscribe and follow us online. You can find us on our social media profiles under Crush Pub or Crush Publications, and our website is crushpublications.com. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on Crushcast.
Be sure to follow us so you can catch our next episode in 2 weeks.
Thanks to our sponsor this week and to all of you for listening.
Peace, love, and crush on.